It's on. Alright. Hello, I'd like to show you how to make a pizza, but not the usual dough, water and salt. I'd like to show you a pizza a bit more rustic style, a bit more casareccia or campagnola as we say in Italian. So what I'm going to use is your standard 00 farina, but we're going to add to that. You can even use pizza based version, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add some different semolinas as well. So here I've got a bit of maize flour, which is corn. I'll just put a little bit of this. I'll add that to the 00. What I'll do is I'll add a bit of polenta as well. What all these doughs will give it more texture and a bit more bite to it. All right, just a bit of colour as well. So just a little bit of that. You don't want to go too much, or else putting all these. This is semolina coarse. Putting too much of these different doughs, because the doughs will make so that the pasta loses its elasticity. So you want it to be elastic as well. So you just want to put a little bit, just to give it a bit of a taste and a bit more texture. That's about it. You don't want to go too crazy about it. Right? This is semolina fine. That's semolina di grano duro. We can even put a little bit of that. Not too much. Just a bit. That's enough. That'll be fine. So now what you've got here is about 3 or 4 different doughs and of different consistencies as well, a bit more coarse. So what I'll do is I normally, in my pizza base, I'll put a bit of sugar. This is Australian sugar. Not too much, but just enough. Australian sea salt, really good quality. What I'll do is as well is I'm putting a couple of eggs. Now that's something you don't do with pizzas, but you know, I'm not doing the pizza the commercial style. I'm doing pizza for me, my family and the people that I love. So when I cook, I normally always go and do the healthiest mix. Now this is yeast. It's already mixed up in water. I'll chuck that in. Yeast here, you can buy it in Australia, you can buy it at the small independent bakeries. You can't get it at the big chains like Baker's Delight. They don't want you to make your own stuff, they want you to buy their products. Now what I'll do too is I'll put olive oil. Now it's a good idea to put olive oil because you're going to be putting olive oil on top of your pizza later on, so why not put olive oil in your pizza earlier on? Now just in case it's still too dry, in this case it seems to be mixing up nicely. In the case that it's too dry, you can either put some white wine, just a splash, or you can even put some milk. I just tend to keep the water to a minimum. I like to go as expensive as I can with my food. I don't try to skim on food, so as a rule, when you're putting all these other doughs like semolina coarse and polentas, because they are coarser as a dough, you can only put about, I'd go rule of thumb, probably about 25%. Not more than that, or else, as I said before, the dough will lose its elasticity and you won't be able to flick it up in the air like all the pros do. Not that we're going to do that. Unless you're doing 25,000 pizzas a day, you're never going to achieve that. Alright? So that was, as you can see, it's got 2 eggs, it's got 00 fine dough, it's got polenta in it, it's got maize flour, it's got semolina coarse and semolina fine, 2 eggs, olive oil, your yeast, and sugar. And I always tend to do my pizzas pretty much the same. I'm a bit of a... Once I know that something tastes good, well then I stick to it. Right, there you go. Still a little bit sticky. It will be a little bit stickier than your normal dough because of the eggs and all the other content inside it. Now this will pretty much just about double in size once it's ready. I normally like to leave it overnight and I put it in the fridge overnight and just let it. It could be a bit more mixing, but this will grow nicely. Okay, as you can see, the dough's been mixed. It's just nice and soft. What I do is I normally put it overnight in the fridge. So what I do is I put it on a tray like that. Then I smear olive oil over it so it doesn't stick and it absorbs as well some of this olive oil. It all gives it a nice taste. You can't beat olive oil taste. It's just beautiful. Then what I'll do is I'll cover it up with Glad wrap and put it in the fridge for well and truly about 12 hours to say the least. Now this will double in size, so this will just about take the tray. And you can make it at least about 7 or 8 pizzas out of this tomorrow. Alright, tomorrow I'll be cooking the pizzas for you. I'll show you how I do them. Bye. Hello, I'm back again. This is the day after, alright. Now I've done a few varieties of typical Italian pizzas that you might not find around in the commercial pizzerias around the world, alright. I'll start with this one over here. This is pizza in figgi. And if you don't know what figgi is, this is a figo. Alright, it's a really nice sweet honey type kind of fruit. And this is a typical quintessential Italian classic. Right? You'll find it in Italy, but you might not find it around the world. That's the standard margherita, just with the bocconcini, cheese, basil and olive oil, stock standard. Now this is another classic Italian that you might not find around. This is pizza bianco, and all it is, it's rosemary, sea salt, olive oil. Really good pizza, really tasty, really nice, good for snacks. Over here, this is prosciutto. So it's all it is tomato sauce, prosciutto, bocconcini, and sea salt and basil. Now with my pizzas, I always try to. I don't go commercial when I do my pizzas, in the sense that I don't put processed cheese, I put real bocconcini cheese. That's the only way to do them. Same with when you're putting your salamis. Don't go for processed salamis, it's rubbish. Go for real prosciutto, that's the only one you've got to use. Alright, this is alla marinara, this is seafood. As you can see, same thing here. Just a little bit of tomato sauce and nice chunky pieces of seafood, as you can see, really nice piece as well. This is another Italian classic that you won't find anywhere else because it's made out of fiori di zucchini. Now zucchini flowers, they'll only last one day, so you've got to pick them off the plant, eat them straight away, or else they just decompose pretty quickly. So it's very hard to find zucchini flowers at the market or at your supermarkets. So you pretty much got to grow them your own. These are mine growing myself. What you do, you get zucchini flowers and you put a little slice of alice, sardines, and bocconcini cheese inside the flour. So you stuff them up inside with asparagus. Really nice Italian classic, even this one here. And this one here's the last one. It doesn't look very good, but you know, we're not looking for perfect circles here. You know, homemade pizzas are supposed to look all big, rugged, and you know, square, oval, round, broken. Doesn't really matter. It's all about the taste, not about the looks. This is what they call a calzone ripieno. Inside here you'll have again you'll have bocconcini. You'll have some prosciutto and other bits and pieces, all leftovers. Just chuck it all in. It all makes a minestrone. It's all good. And there you have it. So you know, at the end of the day, what I want to show you is be creative with your pizzas. There's no set rule of how you do your pizzas. Pizzas can be done in any way, shape or form. Right. So what I've showed you today is with the doughs, mix your doughs up. It's the old-fashioned way of doing pizzas. They've been doing pizzas for thousands of years. This is probably the way Julius Caesar would have eaten his pizza. You know, I mean, in the olden days, they didn't go to the deli and just buy, you know, a kilo of dough off the shop. They had to harvest their own crops, and they ate what they harvest. So most of the time, in the olden days, they would just mix everything up and make a minestrone. That's what minestrone means. It's a mixture. You might have a bit of, you know, potatoes, this, that, and the other. Just mix it all up, and it's always the best kind of food. Always the most nourishing and quality. So there you go. Whether you want to make a pizza with peanut butter or whatever you like, just do it. You know, just be creative, be yourself. Don't follow, you know, what some other people might say that pizza's got to be done only one way and one way only. Yeah, just enjoy with a glass of wine. Give me a bit of a dry throat, and there you go. If you've got the space at home, a really good thing would be to get a wood-fired pizza oven, like the one I showed you outside. Mine's nice and small, but it's family size. It's something that people, when they come, visitors come, they always, you know, everybody likes to do a pizza. Kids love pizzas, so everybody gets involved with it, and it's great garden furniture as well. So here, there you have it. So please look at my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell your friends about it. If you didn't enjoy the video for some obscene reason, show your friends regardless, because they'll probably disagree with you. And have a look at my other videos on YouTube. And see you later from Melbourne, Australia. Bye.